because here where I live, there's really no time at all. So I guess it's strange for me to remember a certain night, but I do remember, because that night was different from all others, ever. That night, the great truth came to earth once and for all. People sometimes think that Christmas came suddenly one holy night. I know better. Other things came first. Amazing things, beautiful things, important things. And I saw them all. Because when a message goes from heaven to earth, it's not a letter, it's an angel. And the angel doesn't just carry the message, the angel is the message. We had brought the light and the truth to the earth before that night. Why? The earth needed to be ready. We sang to Moses, and then Moses gave us the 10 Commandments. And then brought the great truth closer. And we sang to David, and when David saw that the great truth would come to earth through his own family, he sang too, song after song after song. We sang to Elijah, and Elijah saw the great truth would come as a child, and he would be called Prince of Peace, Wonderful Counselor. But the still earth seemed dark and far away, until that night a light was lit like no other. I remember the star in the sky above heaven, all the songs and messages we had ever brought to earth. They all led up to that one night, and they lit up the sky. When we were watching over Joseph and his wife, when the innkeeper sent them away, we knew where they were going. We knew they would be safe and warm in a quiet of a stable. In the hills above Bethlehem, I remember the faces of shepherds looking up. It was time for the great truth to shine on earth. Nothing would have stopped it, and nothing could have kept us from singing about it. And we sang, we did. Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. For unto us is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And nothing could have kept those shepherds from walking through the night to see the child. We lit the path, and like sheep, they who had been lost, the shepherds found their way. And Mary, I will always remember her face. When she heard us sing, Mary knew that this child laid in a manger was bringing the great truth. She knew it in her heart, and it shone on her face that night. Earth now had a heavenly light of its own, and it made me sing louder and sweeter. Our songs was like brighter and the happiest song I ever sing. The star is still shining, and I still shine. The earth is still singing back. On this Christmas night, I hope that you sing out like the messengers of the angels, the wonderful news of Jesus Christ's birth. As you look at stars every time during the year, think of this night as light comes to the world, as Jesus came as a baby. Let us pray. Loving Lord, thank you for bringing truth, your Son, the Prince of Peace, the wonderful Counselor, a baby of love to us. Let us, when we see stars and hear whispers, know that you are shining and helping us remember this night. Amen.
Better to do it now.
Christmas
I know,
table
I
at
just-
Dawn's
I know.
house.
I know.
Dawn's tree.
Yeah.
Might get it lit up. Hi there. Just gonna clear out the.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Eve, 1999. Mike?
Okay, I think that's enough.
Kevin?
Let's get that eye.
The kids are all at
Yeah.
Grammy and Granddad's, so I'm quickly
Wait,
getting a good shot of the table while it's quiet.
Diane.
Kevin,
Hello.
what do you say?
Merry Christmas to all.
And to all a good night.
You can rest here.
Dawn's Christmas present from Mike and I. A desk for the teacher. Antique, 1930s, solid oak. For the house. The end.
Merry Christmas,
Ho, ho,
Jackson.
ho. Merry Christmas.
Okay, here's the tour of Mom and Dad's. We just came back from church. Hopefully the pictures of the boys are not too dark singing. We got the table in here. Eden's angels. Go do the stockings. Flip that light on, Dad, would you?
I just wanted to show Jackson that thing that we made for the fireplace.
Yeah. Turn on the light over there, Dad.
Oh, sure.
I think the more light it has. There you go. Yeah.
Well, you'll probably see it on Christopher Lowell. We sent it to him.
Yes. And here we have our old stockings. Where's Jackson's old? Here's Jackson's old stocking when he was little.
Mama, me.
And here's my old stocking. And at the very bottom, if you can tell,
Where's mine?
let's see here, where's it at? Jack chewed the toe. And I think it's too dark.
Thank you.
Cannot see it.
I see Santa
When he was a
Claus.
baby, he stood and chewed the toe, and so that's always been my stocking, the chewed toe, my whole life. There's Hayden. What do you say?
A sucker in one hand and a cookie in the other.
Merry
Can you
Christmas.
share a cookie with Daddy? Ah! Ah!
Here's
Give me
the
cookie.
stockings for
Give
the
me
grandkids.
Come back here. Give me a bite of that cookie.
Light. There's one for Haiti. Tai-Tai. Carsey. Kristen. Cavi. Jackson. And McLean. McLean. Jackson. There's the Christmas tree I made for Dad when I was in high school. There's my graduation picture from law school. The old family shots. Some of these are hilarious of Jack and Gary. Jack and the Leisure. Corduroy.
Jack, even though we're having 80-degree weather here in California, I still have this sweatshirt on that you gave me up there in Aspen. And, you know, everybody loves it, so I always wear it to Christmas Eve. Wore it tonight, but it was a little warm, but we made it anyhow.
Yes, it was actually. I just talked to them on the phone. They said it's like 27 degrees in Florida.
Oh, boy, is that
They're having to worry about their plants. They're having a cold spell.
Oh, my God.
There's Jackson in the leisure suit. Gary doing the local weatherman bow tie. Some of these are very 70s shots. Here we are after Don and I have disappeared. There's Don's leisure thing. Gary and Aaron's wedding, Eden's graduation picture. Gary and Aaron's wedding pictures. Grammy and Granddad. Okay, we're gonna go down the hall.
No, well, she said she stopped him just a minute ago. No, a while back.
Grammy's Christmas present from Granddad. A
Hi,
little
Mama.
antique window.
Hi, Hayden.
Hi, Hayden. How you doing, buddy? Go see the kids. Hey, you know what? I called and left 2 messages, and I thought to call the cell phone because I figured they weren't home, and sure enough.
Hello. Hi guys.
You just say,
How you doing? Merry Christmas. Sorry I haven't called. I haven't meant to. I've been working really hard, but I hope you guys are enjoying the holidays, and I hope you guys get lots of presents, lots of fun stuff.
That's not what you told me.
Hey.
Working hard is crawling down the stairs out of her room.
Oh, please.
And putting a hand to the C's box and putting
Yeah.
it up to
Hey,
her
baby.
mouth.
Oh.
Okay.
That is the truth.
We.
Mike,
Yeah, close up. Woo!
the family room. Okay. Oh no, this is McLean's new picture. Arlene was just telling me about it. Oh my gosh, how cute. There's our Mackie. What a wonderful picture.
I have one of the offices too.
Oh, Mom, Aunt Dida's gonna have to go find her picture. Yes. There's the fish, everything. Isn't that cute? McLean's picture. McLean has her first school picture.
Yeah, I missed emergency.
Oh, okay, here we are entering the domain. There's Miss Chris getting ready to go. She's going to take on the Y2K and get on an airplane.
Going to Indianapolis on Tuesday.
You're going to be on a plane?
Yep.
What are you going to do in case it doesn't work?
Stay in Indianapolis.
Stay in Indianapolis, freeze your buns off?
Yep.
It's going to be cold. You got your coat?
Better
I'm
than
gonna
going to
freeze
school.
my bunny off.
Okay. Tyler, what do you say?
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
Don't be silly. Cars, you say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Here. These are all the old dolls. Here, let's see.
Well, let me
There's
see.
Shelley, who Uncle Jackson painted her eyes red, and then Granddad had to fix it, and then the fingernail polish made her eye go bad. These were Dondi's. That's your mom's. This one in that dress that's all very
That
old
one?
because
Was it
she's
that
getting
one?
older.
Painting his eyes red?
That was Kimberly. This is Shelley. Here, you got your hand on.
Her?
And that's Kay next to her.
What's this, Kay?
Uh-huh. Shelley and Kay. And the little pink one was Eden's doll, and I don't know who this other doll is. That was your mom's. I
Who's
can't
that
remember the
one?
name. These are Eden's Cabbage Patches. Whoops. Here we go, into the new room with the tree. Let's get the tree decorated. Oh my gosh, that picture of McLean. They said that she had an adorable one.
Come here.
I love it. Look at that.
The Christmas.
You want the third one in there, Mom?
No. Come here, Pop.
Bring it,
Yeah,
bring it
that's
in here,
mine.
too.
Sure.
Okay.
French
French doors with the garland over it.
There it is.
What did you find, presents?
Yours.
Woohoo!
It's right there. It's right there.
Carson, yeah. There you go. Chris.
Hello again.
Around.
Okay.
Ryan, go up the wreath because Jackson wanted to see all
The ornaments.
the ornaments. Like
Okay.
there's the scout ones. See the scout ones? See
Okay.
the John North one?
Okay, here we go. Carson, move.
First.
Okay, I'll start at the bottom. Kristen, move.
See
If
some
you make
of
me
those.
trip, I'm gonna have to kill you. Okay, let's see if I can get a close-up on each one.
See there's
See.
peanuts. There's those ones I made last
The
year.
peanuts,
There's one you made,
One's
Granddad.
Grand.
See the bread dough Santa Claus?
the bread dough Santa,
And then there's E.T. when E.T. was going one
E.T.
year.
God, what year is that? Isn't that fun?
What year is that, Kristen? Look on them. They all have years on them. Look,
E.T.
Granddad's bringing popcorn to you.
1982.
1982, E.T. The Snowman.
Yeah.
And watch me change my garage.
It is, isn't it?
Okay.
It really is. Oh, yeah.
Another old
That's right.
ornament.
That's joy, and that's a capital J.
I don't know if any of these are on now.
Tell you what, get away from those
I
presents.
know, because that is Tyler.
Where's the
There's popcorn right there.
Brandon, I was so comfortable.
I'm already carrying down in there. I was looking.
Oh, this is the new ornament that I got from Mom and Dad this year.
Hey, Michael, she was
I don't
snooping.
know if you can read it, but it has all the grandkids' name on it.
Yeah, nothing to say.
She snoops, Michael.
She knows every gift she's got.
It's got all the grandkids.
You know what my dad does, Michael? He
I
opens
don't know
all
if
my
it's in
mail.
focus. I
I
can't
told
tell.
him it's a federal offense. He said it's okay because I live here.
Don't touch him.
But it's Kevin, Kristen, Carson,
No touching. Just
Tyler, Hayden, McLean, and Jackson at the bottom.
Oh, here's Kevin arriving. Mom, you're right.
There
That
we go.
picture of McLean's darling. Is that it?
Uh-huh.
Here
Here.
they are. Here's Tommy arriving.
Dondi, just saw the picture of McLean.
Love it. That is the cutest thing I ever saw.
Isn't that cute?
Darling, yes.
We all have copies. Aline said it's in the box, so we
I heard it was cute. And
I've
it
already-
is.
I love it. I'm the one. I've got them and grabbed them.
Granny loves it. Kevin. Kevin, you say Merry Christmas?
Merry Christmas
fire?
again from earlier.
Don't do that again.
Be careful.
You came so close to knocking
Okay, let's see here. Continuing on the ornaments.
slow now. I got hurt.
Here's a Dana Point one from Doheny. There's a Washington, D.C. one. When they went to Washington, D.C., it's got
Oh, okay.
That's a good idea.
Well, when you get done with
one
that,
of them on there. I can't tell from far away. Remember this one? The little bread dough heads on the tree for everybody.
So Santa's unloading your pack.
Yeah, there you go.
Is there other stuff still in Danny?
Yeah.
sorry.
Here's the angels on the tree. Mom, I don't see a Boy Scout one. What are you talking about?
On the tree. 1 year that
Anything
they-
about that?
Oh, I see. Here it is. There's the Boy Scout ornament
Here's one
on the
that's
tree.
Boy
Yeah.
Scout, and then there's one that says Jackson rules or something like that, and one says Gary rules.
No. Hayden?
I don't know if these are too in focus.
Here's Jack's over here.
Put it back.
Rad Jack. That was his scout.
Brad Jack.
Did you see the little bicycle from when they went bicycling?
Yeah. Okay, Carson, you have something to say?
Please put the lid back on.
Put the lid back on.
Thank you.
Carson,
Let's treat this house with
this is
respect,
going to be
Yes.
traveling
We have.
across the country. Can you be polite?
Hi, I'm Carson. Did you know that?
Cars. You
Okay,
never put
let's
hands
take a
in
break
front.
now.
Christmas, 1977. This was a very happy year for our family. Gary, 4, and Eden, 8 months, got this letter from Santa. Gary was so proud of it, he pulled his little stool up to the display of cards so he could look at it. He thought he should get the train on the front, and he did. Eden got her first dolly from Gongi and Granddad, but she didn't like it much. She preferred the ribbons. She loved to scoot up to the tree and try to tear into the packages big sisters Dawn, 16, and Diane, 13, had wrapped. Christmas Eve, we put on a program. I told a story about Christ's visit and read the Bible about the wise men. Diane had us play a game where we tried to guess what the person was acting out, a tree, a Santa, etc. Jack, 10, sang us a beautiful song. Gary sang Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Don read from the Bible Luke 2 about Christ's birth, and Dad read us the night before Christmas. Christmas Eve, Dad and Mom and Diane went to the 11 o'clock service. Diane was acolyting. Christmas Day, a beautiful turkey dinner here With Gongi Granddad Doug, lots of presents. Jackson got Micronauts, lots of dolls, jewelry, clocks, and shoes. Okay, so that's 1977. So let's see here. Okay, here's 78. On this Christmas, we're all happy and healthy. Don, 17, and Diane, 14, sang us a beautiful song, Baby. Their alto voices sound good together. They also did an outstanding job of pantomiming when Dad read The Night Before Christmas. Gary, 5, asked, "What's Prancer?" and we told him he was one of Santa's reindeers. He thinks Santa is the man we visited in Santa's village. He made cookies and ice water to give him when he gets here. Jack, 11, read us a poem about family love. He read The Miracle of Christmas by Billy Graham. He is really growing up. We invited him to go to the midnight service at the church. Gary, 5, said a little prayer that we all have a very nice Christmas, and Jackson said a little prayer that we all have a very, very, very happy Christmas and a happy New Year. Dad, 36, prayed a beautiful prayer, thanking God for our families, good health, and happiness.
What a young man, 36.
Eden didn't make it to our Christmas Eve program because she was asleep. She had her baba and her quilt, so she's snug in her little crib. Tomorrow we are having Gongi and Granddad and Doug to dinner. Dad and I made a delicious turkey dinner with dressing, yams, green beans, rolls, salad, cookies, coconut pies, pumpkin pies, brownies, and lots more. Diane read a poem by Catherine Richter, her blind friend. Mom read the 77 letter, and Dondi read Matthew 12. Okay, shall we skip to another year? Let's see, we'll get one that's more current. Let's get one up here. Let's see. Let me see. Okay.
Don, listening.
All right, here we go. 1985. We got a new white miniature light set for our tree. It looks beautiful. Everybody got a tree at the Christmas tree farm, including Gongi and Granddad, Diane and Mike, Dondi and us. A nice day. Eden's Christmas Angel was our new tree top. Our Christmas program was great. Kevy sat on Granddad's lap to hear 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Gary read Stoppin' by Woods on a Snowy Evening by Frost. Jackson read his own poetry, Play War, and a Christmas poem for North High School Polaris. Diane and Mike and Eden did a pantomime of Merry Christmas using their bodies for each letter. It was great. Don had a neat game with clothespins where we had to name Christmas things. We went to the Christmas Eve service at the church. Gary acolyted and Dad ushered. Jackson came when he got off work at Alpha Beta. Dinner at our house with the whole gang except Dieter. A nice Christmas season. Okay, now let me see something that's got the kids in it. Okay, 1986. Baked cookies, cakes, pies, the best candy, lots of everything delicious. Pop the Wise Man, Gary and Angel, and Edie Beatty and Angel in the live nativity scene at the church. Kevy said, "There goes Granddad." Hey, there goes two granddads when the wise men went by. Christmas musical. Eden sang a duet and was an adorable ballerina. Gary was the cutest little toy soldier. Put up our tree and decorated it and the gables of our house with gorgeous white blinking lights. Jackson climbed the roof and put up the lights. Gary assisted. Beautiful. We went caroling and had a party afterward at our house with all the kids, a tradition. And learned that Don's new baby will be born February 10th, a girl. Hooray!
There she is.
Granddad to a great Christmas dinner. Her Kevy asked Granddad, "Do you
All
want a
these years
final bite
later.
from Santa?"
Granddad in his chair.
Dondi made gorgeous geese pictures by hand.
She sits there, huh?
Saw Jackson at the Christmas Eve service in his tuxedo after work from the Tuxedo King. He has turned into Diamond Jackson Brady. Heard Eden tell Ruth Halpenny, "What do you mean you want a coat and you hope you get one? You bought it and you wrapped it." Oh boy. Okay,
87.
here's one. 87. This is Eden. If I could give a gift without buying it, this is what I would give. I would make a card and put designs and things on it, or I could give a nice call or a hug. Just to celebrate Christmas would be celebrating it with my family, or telling stories, or singing, or playing the piano, etc. The best things about Christmas: being together with good health, Kristen's first Christmas, losing Kevy 3 in the church, him crying, the new modern technology computer for Diane's law review, Kevy and Eden's scooters, our tickets to the Winter Olympics, Diane's finals over, halfway to lawyerdom, Dawn making socks for Kristen and Eden. Kevy wants another motorcycle. Jackson is enjoying being single and a fitness nut. This was a camera year. Everybody got a camera. Kristen ringing the bells on the front door. Last but not least, Kristen's brand new angel collection, a tiny baby Jesus angel, because that's what she was in the Christmas pageant.
There's baby Jesus.
Mary was Dawn.
All grown up.
Yeah.
Christmas angel was Diane, a wise man cop. Angel Gary and Eden. Shepherd Mike.
There he is.
Kevy
The
says he's
shepherd.
also a shepherd. The gorgeous Christmas play. Okay, well I think I'll let that be my part, and we'll pass to Kevy.
Wait a minute, Kevy's not ready.
Oh, Kevy's not quite ready. All right, we will pass to who is ready.
Me.
Are the kids gonna do their songs?
Mom. We gotta go get the bill.
I know, just a minute. Let's go get it.
He's gotta do his bell. You're still filming, Tyler. Okay. Are you
Sing
ready,
your
Tyler?
song.
Start singing, then.
Tinga bad, tinga all the way. Oh, what fun.
Start so nice. Let's
Do it nice.
Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. You sing me.
We go,
Laughing
all the way.
bells
On cocktails ring,
making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing
a sleighing song tonight.
Now this is your cadence. Jingle bells, jingle.
Go bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun riding this one-horse open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun riding this open sleigh. Hey! Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun riding one-horse open sleigh. Hey!
Very good. Hayden.
Nice song.
What about Tyler and Fawn? How?
Stop reindeer paws. Out jumps good old Santa Claus. Down through the chimney with lots of toys. All for the little ones' Christmas joys. Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Ho, 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 who wouldn't go? Up on the house,
Look up in here.
click, click. Down through the chimney with a straight.
Very good. Hayden, stop, please.
You're done with the bell here.
In those days, Caesar Augustus issued a decree that
That's on your bedroom.
a census should be taken of the entire Roman world. This was the first census that took place while the Quirians was governor of Syria, and everyone went to his own town to register. So Joseph also went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and the line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him and was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in clothes and placed him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. And there were shepherds living out in the fields nearby, keeping watch over their flock at night. An angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were terrified. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid. I bring you good news of great joy, and there will be for all people. Today in the town of David a Savior has been born to you. He is Christ, the Lord. This will be a sign to you. You will find a baby wrapped in clothes, laying in a manger." Suddenly a great company of heavenly hosts appeared with the angel, praising God and saying, "Glory to God in the highest, and on the earth peace to men on whom his favor rests." When the angels had left them and had gone to heaven, the shepherds said to one another, Let go to Bethlehem and see this thing that has happened, which the Lord has told us about." So they hurried off and found Mary and Joseph and the baby who was lying in the manger. While they had seen him, they spread the word concerning that had been told them about this child. And all who heard it were amazed at the shepherds said to them, but Mary treasured up all these things and pondered them in her heart. The shepherds returned, glorifying and praising God for all the things they had heard and seen, which were just as they had been told.
Very good.
Thank you.
Very good, very good.
This is one of my favorite stories. It's called The Gift of the Magi by O. Henry. $1.87, that was all, and 60 cents of it was in pennies. Pennies saved one at a time by bulldozing the grocer and the vegetable man and the butcher until one's cheeks burned with the silent imputation of parsimony that such closing deal implied. 3 times Della counted it, $1.87, and the next day would be Christmas. There was clearly nothing to do but flop down on the shabby little couch and howl. So Della did it, which instigates the moral reflection that life is made up of sobs, sniffles, and smiles, with sniffles predominating. While the mistress of the home is gradually subsiding from the first stage to the second, take a look at home. A furnished flat at $8 per week, it did not exactly beg your description, but it certainly had that word on the lookout for the mendicancy squad. In the vestibule below was a letter box into which no letter would go, an electric button from which no mortal finger could coax a ring. Also appertaining thereunto was a card bearing the name Mr. James Dillingham Young. The Dillingham had been flung to the breeze during a former period of prosperity when its processor was being paid $30 per week. Now when the income was shrunk to $20, the letters of Dillingham looked blurred, as though they were thinking seriously of contracting to a modest and unassuming D. But whenever Mr. James Dillingham Young came home and reached his flat above, he was called Jim, and greatly hugged by Mrs. James Dillingham Young, already introduced to you as Della, which it was all very good.
You want to just tell what the story is instead of reading?
Della finished her cry and attended to her cheeks with the powder rag. She stood by the window and looked out dully at a gray cat walking a gray fence in the gray backyard. Tomorrow would be Christmas Day, and she only had $1.87 with which to buy Jim a present. She had been saving every penny she could for months, with this result. $20 a week doesn't go far. Expenses had been greater than she calculated. They always were. Only $1.87 to buy a present for her Jim. Her Jim. Many a happy hour she had spent planning for something nice for him. Something fine and rare and sterling. Something just a little bit near being worthy of the honor of being owned by Jim. There was a pier glass between the windows of the room. Perhaps you have seen a pier glass in an $8 flat. A very thin and very agile person may, by observing his reflection in a rapid sequence of longitudinal strips, obtain a fairly accurate conception of his looks. Della, being slender, had mastered the art. Suddenly she whirled from the window and stood before the glass. Her eyes were shining brilliantly, but her face had lost its color within 20 seconds. Rapidly she pulled down her hair and let it fall to its full length. Now there were 2 possessions of the James Dillingham Youngs in which they both took a mighty pride. One was Jim's gold watch that had been his father's and his grandfather's. The other was Della's hair. Had the Queen of Sheba lived in the flat across the air shaft, Della would have let her hair hang out the window some day to dry, just to depreciate Her Majesty's jewels and gifts. Had King Solomon been the janitor with all his treasures piled up in the basement, Jim would have pulled out his watch every time he passed just to see him pluck at his beard with envy. So now Della's beautiful hair fell about her, rippling and shining like a cascade of brown waters. It reached below her knee and made itself almost a garment for her. And then she did it up again nervously and quickly. Once she faltered for a minute and stood still while a tear or two splashed on the worn red carpet. On went her old brown jacket, on went her old brown hat. With a whirl of skirts and with the brilliant sparkle still in her eyes, she fluttered out the door and down the stairs to the street. Where she stopped, the sign read, Mademoiselle Sofroni, hair goods of all kinds. One flight up, Della ran and collected herself, panting. Madame, large, too white, chilled, hardly looked the Sofroni. Will you buy my hair? Asked Della. I buy hair, said Madame. Take your hat off and let's have a sight at the looks of it. Down rippled the brown cascade. $20, said Madame, lifting the mask with a practiced hand. Give it to me quick, said Della. Oh, and the next 2 hours tripped on by rosy wings. Forget the hashed metaphor. She was ransacking the stores for Jim's present. She found it at last. It surely had been made for Jim and no one else. There was no other like it in any of the stores, and she turned all of them inside out. It was platinum fob chain, simple and chaste in design, properly proclaiming its value by substance alone and not by meretricious ornamentation. As all good things should do, it was even worthy of the watch. As soon as she saw it, she knew it must be Jim's. It was like him, quietness and value. The description applied to both. $21 they took from her for it, and he hurried home with 87 cents. With that chain on his watch, Jim might be properly anxious at the time in any company. Grand as the watch was, he simply looked at it on the sly on account of the old leather strap that he used in place of a chain. When Della reached home, her intoxication gave way a little to prudence and reason. She got out her curling irons and lighted the gas and went to work repairing the ravages made by generosity added to love, which is always a tremendous task, dear friends, a mammoth task.
What do you push, Schneider?
It's on.
Within 41 minutes, her head was covered with tiny, close-lying curls that made her look wonderfully like a truant schoolboy. She looked at her reflection in the mirror long, carefully, and critically. If Jim doesn't kill me, she said to herself, before he takes a second look at me, he'll say I look like a Coney Island chorus girl. But what could I do? Oh, what could I do with $1.87? At 7 o'clock, the coffee was made and the frying pan was on the back of the stove, hot and ready to cook chops. But Jim was never late. Della doubled the fob chain in her hand and sat on the corner of the table near the door that he always entered. Then she heard his step on the stairway down to the first flight, and she turned white for just a moment. She had a habit of saying little silent prayers about the simplest everyday things, and now she whispered, please God, make him think I am still pretty. The door opened and Jim stepped in. Can we have some quiet, please? And closed it. He looked very thin and very serious. Poor fellow, he was only 22 and to be burdened with a family. He needed a new overcoat and he was without gloves. Jim stopped inside the door as immovable as setter at the scent of a quail. His eyes were fixed upon Della, and there was an expression in them that she could not read, and it terrified her. It was not anger, nor surprise, nor disapproval, nor horror, nor any of the sentiments that she had been prepared for. He simply stared at her fixedly with that peculiar expression on his face. Della wriggled off the table and went for him. Jim, darling, she cried, don't look at me that way. I had my hair cut off and sold it because I couldn't have lived through Christmas without giving you a present. It'll grow out again. You won't mind, will you? I just had to do it. My hair grows awfully fast. Say Merry Christmas, Jim, and let's be happy. You don't know what a beautiful, nice gift I got for you. You cut off your hair, Jim asked, laboriously, as if he had not arrived at that patent fact yet, even after the hardest mental labor. Cut it off and sold it, said Della. Don't you like it just as well, anyhow? I'm me without my hair, ain't I? Jim looked about the room curiously. You say your hair is gone, he asked, with an air almost of idiocy. You needn't look for it, said Della. It's sold, I tell you. Sold and gone, too. It's Christmas Eve, boy. Be good to me, for it went for you. Maybe the hairs of my head were numbered, she went on with a sudden serious sweetness, but nobody could ever count my love for you. Shall I put the chops on, Jim? Out of his trance, Jim quickly to wake. He pulled in his Della, 10 seconds, let us regard the sweet scrutiny some consensual object in the other direction. $8 a week or $1 million a year, what is the difference? A mathematician or a wit would give you the wrong answer. The Magi brought valuable gifts, but that was not among them. This dark assertion will be illuminated later on. Jim drew a package from his overcoat pocket and threw it upon the table. Hey, you are the rudest bunch of people I've ever seen in my life.
I'm listening to you. I'm listening to you.
Is it going much
Don't
longer?
make any mistake, Del, he said about me. I don't think there's anything in the way of a haircut or a shave or a shampoo that could make me like my girl any less. But if you unwrap that package, you'll see why you had me going a while at first. White fingers and nimble tore at the string and paper, and then an ecstatic scream of joy, and then alas, a quick feminine change to hysterical tears and wails, necessitating the immediate employment of all comforting powers of the Lord of the Flat. For there lay the combs, the set of combs set side and back that Della had worshipped for long in the Broadway window. Beautiful combs, pure tortoiseshell with jeweled rims, just the shade to wear in the beautiful vanished hair. They were expensive combs she knew, and her heart had simply craved and yearned over them without the least hope of possession. And now they were hers, by the tresses that should have adorned the coveted adornments were gone. But she hugged them to her bosom, and at length she was able to look up with dim eyes and a smile and say, "My hair grows so fast, Jim." And then Della leaped up with a little singed cat and cried, "Oh, oh!" Jim had not seen his beautiful present. She held it out to him eagerly upon her open palm. The dull, precious metal seemed to flash with a reflection of her bright and ardent spirit. "Isn't it a dandy, Jim? I hunted all over town to find it. You'll have to look at the time 100 times a day now. Give me your watch. I want to see how it looks on it." Instead of obeying, Jim tumbled down on the couch and put his hands under his back of his head and smiled. "Del," he said, "let's put our Christmas presents aside and keep them a while. They're too nice to use just at present. I sold the watch to get the money to buy your combs. And now suppose you put the chops on." The Magi, as you know, were wise men, wonderfully wise men who brought gifts to the babe in the manger. They invented the art of giving Christmas presents. Being wise, their gifts were no doubt wise ones, possibly bearing the privilege of exchange in case of duplication. And here I am lamely related to you the uneventful chronicle of two foolish children in a flat who were most unwisely sacrificed for each other the greatest treasures in their house. But in a last word to the wise of these days, let it be said that of all who gives gifts, these two were the wisest. Of all who gives and receives gifts, such as they are wise. Everywhere they are wisest, they are the Magi. Thank you.
Very good, Eden. Very good. That was nice.
Eden.
All right.
Right on film.
Kristen's turn.
Hayden, what
Wake up,
looks
Ethan.
like ours?
Wake up.
You know what, Don?
Yeah, I know.
Piss off, Don. Piss off.
Eden.
Come on, you
Give me that, Phil. Give me the
All
bell.
right, Kristen.
Okay.
I'm going to read this book that I wrote a while ago, and when you see the pictures, you'll be able to tell.
Hayden,
That's a good.
no more bell right now.
My Family
Sit down.
by Kristen R. Hunter.
Sit
Dedicated to my family that does wonderful things for me. On our trip to Las Vegas, it was so fun. Here are some pictures of each person in my family.
And you have to say what the picture is, Chris.
It's supposed to be a picture of the whole family right now.
All right.
Good picture.
Oh God. Maybe people have arms. My mom played in the arcade with me. I love you, Mom.
Yeah, Mom.
When was this, Kristen? 2 years ago, right?
Yeah, it was the year that we went to Las Vegas.
That's
Right.
a rather flattering picture.
down.
I've seen her. Why do you think so?
I told you, these are horrible pictures.
Tyler, would you know
Kevin and
my
Carson.
back?
Kevin and Carson mostly played in the arcade.
All right, Kevin and Carson. Mostly Kevin.
I see.
Hey, all right.
Sit down and listen to the
Kevin
story.
Carson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daddy, this seems so dark. Is
I
it
know.
supposed to be?
I'm hoping it's working. I don't
My
know. I
God.
can't tell.
I mean,
I-
dark. Okay.
You can't, Bill.
I
I'm not
You mean we filmed the whole gift to the Magi? You
You
can't.
guys are the rudest bunch of people I've ever seen. Rude.
Yeah.
I am. People, please let me especially.
Okay, Kristen's turn.
I am happy that my Uncle Gary asked his girlfriend Erin to marry him.
Oh.
Right.
So am I.
There you go.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, Mike, you're right. It was Grammy and Grandma's 25th anniversary. This is
Alright.
Grammy.
All right, Graham. Way to go, Graham. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Grammy was taking.
She had no love for Granddad. No love for Granddad.
No, I did Granddad. Granddad was the only one to go home with money.
All right, Granddad. Yeah, give me money.
All right. Hey, stylish. Oh, man, I'm looking good in that book.
My Aunt Eden took me to GameWorks.
Hey,
We walked all over Hill's Half Acre to
Well,
find
it was
you.
about 10 miles down the
My
road.
dad was.
When I was driving on the road, I couldn't believe how far it was.
Diane and Mike are cool because when I just helped to babysit, they paid me.
Oh, good.
That is cool.
So which one's Diane and which one's Mike? Oh,
Thank you, Kevin. You're little.
Oh, man.
You're a little jackass. I'm gonna have to smack you when I get finished. I did two Kevin and Carson.
Mike's the one that
you're too slow. You're a big fat defensive
Hey, guys,
lineman.
I did two.
Nimble quarterback.
I did two Kevin and Carson on accident. And then, so here's my second
Get it,
one.
Michael.
Kevin
Get
and
it.
Carson are my brothers. They mostly hung out in the arcade. I did two. Eden, would you shut up, please?
Which one's
What are you doing?
they're
kind of
come
entertaining?
here, Hayden.
Jack and Eileen did not come because they live in Florida.
What are you doing?
Hayden, stop it. That's not nice.
Trying to sniff out my
Oh, wait.
fly.
Do that one again. We were making noise. Read it so they can hear.
Jack and Eileen did not come because they live in Florida.
All right, Jack and Eileen, we miss you. We miss you.
Yeah, they should have come.
They have this thing on the border. They don't let them out.
Gongi and Granddad and Doug didn't go either.
All right.
They put on this, they put Dougie. Okay.
Hey.
Granddad Morris didn't come, but he must have had a good time here.
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
love this.
I do too.
that's his shining day right there.
The end. And then there's an about the author page. Or the author page.
We got that in?
Yeah. About the author. This book was written by and is illustrated by Kristen R. Kiker, age 11. Kristen lives in Riverside, California, and attends Bryant School. For fun, Kristen loves to dance and write stories.
Right.
The,
Is Kristen gonna do her dance from Central for us?
no.
Would you like to, Crit?
No.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead, Craig.
No,
You want to
that's
think
all
about
right.
it?
Please.
No.
All right.
You want
What's
to,
she gonna
kick it
do?
around before you come
All right.
down?
Are Mike and
No?
Diane ready for their part?
Yeah, Mike and Diane, what are they going to do?
Yeah, what are they going to do?
Mike and
Ready,
Diane are no talented.
Back
Mike's not a no talented, so
Granny.
Mike brought his bag
Mike-
of tricks.
All right.
Mike brought his bag of tricks.
Granny,
Oh,
would it be a good time to
I'm
bring
playing-
in the charade?
Now wait a minute.
Christmas Eve
This is
Santa.
Daddy's turn.
Christmas Eve Santa.
Okay.
Christmas Eve
Oh,
Santa.
goody.
Please.
First of all,
Oh, yeah, look at him.
first of all, Carson for being a super student.
Oh, right. Carson, go over by Uncle Mike.
Okay.
Go stand by Mike so Grammy can take a picture.
Oh man, the first one I pull out,
Oh, no.
Eden.
Oh.
All right. What was that
You
for?
can do whatever you like with it.
It's because I'm a cool person. That's what it is.
The second one is for Dawn,
Oh,
with the
okay.
camera ready.
Look up,
Camera
guys.
at fire.
Carson, look
Oh. Okay.
up. Sorry.
Forget Carson. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler, get over there by Daddy so I can get your picture.
We lost our tunes here. It
Kevin?
doesn't play over and over.
No, but there's another one that Dad
Quarterback.
could put on if you would.
I'll get it.
Well, I gotta have those
Kind
deals.
of chalky.
Hey, this is so nice, Mike. This is very nice. Kristen, Granddad.
Judy.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you
they're
very
over there.
much.
Made in China.
Judy.
Well, you know,
Thank you.
Carson, this is your present.
but
Hey, this is nice. A writing set.
Need a can opener?
That's what I got, Grammy.
Oh, I like that.
That's Gary, Gary and
That
Aaron.
is a wallet.
And then
Mom.
Have we heard this one yet, Don?
Hey, Grammy, could I borrow a can opener?
Can opener. You gotta have a can opener.
You got two?
Can you say hi?
Ooh! Hey, Dad, look. I got a new clock for my room.
Oh, good.
these are just little.
Oh, nice.
That's very nice. Donnie?
Here's some chocolates. Good choice.
I'm telling you, it's so dark, you don't know what you're doing.
Now it's on.
Yeah, it's on. Thank you very much, Mike. Hey, that was very nice.
Don, are you reading the Polar Express?
Hey, you know what? Santa's coming for you.
Were you gonna read it too?
Boy,
No,
Card?
I provided the book.
Hayden, I
Don's
hope
gonna
you get
read.
that soccer ball.
You gonna play charades now?
Mine in my class. So. My days of singing and dancing are over.
That's what you think, sis.
I'm the videographer. Yes.
Me too. I want to see her dance for any US.
So do I.
She doesn't dance. I can do a.
Remember the year she and Mike spelled out Merry Christmas and Santa and all that stuff? That was great.
This is good chocolate,
My
right?
years they had talent. Okay, that's Don's
Okay,
turn.
who's the next person? Donnie, get up there.
I don't think Diane did it.
Double.
I did. I just did.
Yeah, what did you do,
Go
man?
back.
What
Missed it. Too
did I?
late.
No, I just.
You brought this book, which I'm going to read.
Oh,
Really?
Oh, no.
I
That,
already have that.
By my Haiti boy.
that does not qualify. Sorry.
Chad Bradsky. Did you get the line?
You got.
You want to sit on me?
She didn't get away with it.
With what?
She wrote the book that Dawn is going to read. That was.
This is
Now
a
you're flying.
Here we go.
This is a nice Christmas story, and we did a whole project with this book.
Kevin.
Gave you the radar for the picture.
Someday you can be in my classroom
It's
too.
86.
Hey,
Tyler, you can't hear the story.
A really cool project, and you can listen to me read all day.
Ty.
No, Don, we can't.
Eden, be a good listener.
The Polar
Yeah,
Express.
you're the rude one.
I'll try to speed my reading up.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Good, we'd appreciate
We all died.
On
Down
Christmas,
with Eden.
excuse me. On Christmas Eve, many years ago, I lay quietly in my bed. I did not rustle the sheets. I breathed slowly and silently. I listened for a sound. A sound a friend had told me I'd never hear. The ringing bells of Santa's sleigh. There is no Santa, my friend had insisted, but I knew he was wrong. Late that night, I did hear sounds, though not of ringing bells. From outside, the sounds of hissing steam and squealing metal. I looked through my window and saw a train standing perfectly still in front of my house. It was wrapped in an apron of steam. Snowflakes fell lightly around it. A conductor stood at the open door of one of the cars. He took a large pocket watch from his vest, then looked up at my window. I put on my slippers and robe. I tiptoed downstairs and out the door. "All aboard!" the conductor cried out, and I ran up to him. "Well," he said, "are you coming?" "Where?" I asked. "Why, to the North Pole." "Of course," was his answer. "This is the Polar Express." I took his outstretched hand and he pulled me aboard. The train was filled with other children, all in their pajamas and nightgowns. We sang Christmas carols and ate candies with nougat centers as white as snow. We drank hot cocoa as thick and rich as melted chocolate bars. Outside, the lights of towns and villages flickered in the distance as the Polar Express raced forward. Soon there were no more lights to be seen. We traveled through dark, cold forests where lean wolves roamed with white-tailed rabbits hid from our train as it thundered through the quiet wilderness. We climbed mountains so high it seemed as if we would scrape the moon, but the Polar Express never slowed down. Faster and faster we ran along, rolling over peaks and through valleys like a car on a roller coaster.
That called roller coaster go really fast.
Yeah.
The mountains turned into
What's
hills,
that,
the hills
Michael?
into snow-covered plains. We crossed a barren desert of ice, the great polar ice cap. Lights appeared in the distance. They looked like the lights of a strange ocean liner sailing on a frozen sea. There, the conductor said, is the North Pole. The North Pole. It was a huge city standing alone at the top of the world, filled with factories where every Christmas toy was made. At first we saw no elves. They were gathering at the center of the city. The conductor told us that is where Santa will give the first gift of Christmas.
Okay.
Who received this first gift? We all asked. The conductor answered, he will choose one of you. Look, shouted one of the children, the elves. Outside we saw hundreds of elves. As our train grew closer to the center of the North Pole, we slowed to a crawl. So crowded were the streets with Santa's helpers. When the Polar Express could go no farther, we stopped and the conductor led us outside. We pressed through the crowd to the edge of a large open circle. In front of us stood Santa's sleigh. The reindeer were excited. They pranced and paced, ringing the silver bells that hung from their harnesses. It was like a magical sound, nothing I'd ever heard. Across the circle, the elves moved apart and Santa Claus appeared. The elves cheered wildly. He marched over to us and pointing to me said, let's have this fellow here. He jumped into his sleigh. The conductor handed me up. I sat on Santa's knee and he asked, now, what would you like for Christmas?
It's a soccer ball.
Oh, a soccer ball. Okay. I knew that I could have any gift I could imagine, but the thing I wanted most for Christmas was not inside Santa's giant bag. What I wanted more than anything was one silver bell from Santa's sleigh. When I asked, Santa smiled. Then he gave me a hug and told an elf to cut a bell from the reindeer's harness. The elf tossed it up to Santa. He stood, holding the bell high above him, and called out, the first gift of Christmas. A clock struck midnight as the elves roared their approval. Santa handed the bell to me, and I put it into my bathrobe pocket. The conductor helped me down from the sleigh. Santa shouted out the reindeer's names and cracked the whip. His team charged forward and climbed into the air. Santa circled above us once, then disappeared into the cold, dark, polar sky. As soon as we were back inside the Polar Express, the other children asked me to see the bell. I reached into my pocket, but the only thing I felt was a hole. I had lost the silver bell from Santa's sleigh. Let's hurry outside and look for it, one of the children said. But the train gave a sudden lurch and we started moving. We were on our way home. How do you think this little boy feels? That's a secret question. It broke my heart to lose the bell. When the train reached my house, I sadly left the other children. I stood at my doorway and waved goodbye. The conductor said something from the moving train, but I couldn't hear him. What? I yelled out. He cupped his hands around his mouth. Merry Christmas, he shouted. The Polar Express let out a loud blast from its whistle and sped away. On Christmas morning, my little sister Sarah and I opened our presents. When it looked as if everything had been unwrapped, Sarah found one last small box behind a tree. It had my name on it. Inside was a silver bell. There was a note. Found this on the seat of my sleigh. Fix that hole in your pocket. Signed, Mr. C. I shook the bell. It made the most beautiful sound my sister and I had ever heard. But my mother said, oh, that's too bad. Yes, said my father, it's broken. When I'd shaken the bell, my parents had not heard a sound.
Mama.
At one time, most of my friends could hear the bell, but as years passed, it fell silent for all of them.
Mommy.
Even Sarah found
Can I get
one
my drink
Christmas
now?
that she could no longer hear its
just
sweet
a minute,
sound.
baby.
Though I've grown old, the bell still rings for me as it does for all who truly believe.
Yay! Very nice, Don.
Hello. As an interval, I just want to say that I mailed your Christmas presents a little late, but they'll be there, I promise. Okay, thanks.
Very normal.
Yeah,
All
well,
right.
Don, you know what? You
Hayden, turn around.
Hayden,
Look at Donnie.
Hayden!
I'm trying to take a picture of
Where are
her.
you people? Get up there,
Okay.
Hayden. Wrap it.
All right,
Hayden,
ready?
Sit up there next to Ty.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, I'm glad I have Mom. What would I do without her?
I know. Okay, ready? 1, 2. Wait a minute, I gotta rewind. 1, 2. It's not rewound.
She says 3, it's, oh God, no.
That's true. Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Wait a minute, everybody. God damn it, I didn't have to wow. Well, that's good. Oh,
I know you
no
can't.
flash.
Balloon disposed.
All right,
Okay.
are we ready?
Ready?
Yes.
Red. Step on.
All
Okay,
right,
here
now
we
let's
are.
go this time with some.
Ow.
I got this new book this year,
I remember.
and it's called "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." And anyhow, I'm going to read it here. And I already read it once, but we had the 1/500 flash, and it didn't work. Okay, everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Especially Eden.
Was
The night before Christmas went all through the house. Not a creature was stirring, not even a mouse.
the
The stockings were hung by the chimney with care, in hopes that St. Nicholas soon would be there.
It's not soon, it's soon would.
Yeah, switch, switch.
The
Children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of sugar plums danced in their heads.
And Mama in her
Kerchief
kerchief
and I in my cap had just settled down for a long winter's nap.
went
Out on the lawn there arose such a clatter, I sprang from my bed to see what was the matter.
Katie, go get on your stool. Katie.
Turn the page.
Katie.
You're not acting very nice.
away to the window I
Flew
flew.
like a flash, tore open the shutters and threw up the sash.
The
In
moon
the breast of a new fallen snow, gave a wager of midday to objects below.
when what
To
to
my
my
wondering eyes should appear
But a
miniature sleigh and a tiny reindeer.
with a little old driver
So lively and quick,
I
knew
knew
in
the
a
moment
moment it must be Saint Nick.
more rapid than eagles his coursers they came, and he whistled and shouted and called them by name. Now
Dasher and Dancer and Prancer and Vixen, on Comet, on Cupid, on Donner and Blitzen.
to the top of the porch,
To the top of the wall.
now dash away,
dash away, dash away all.
As dry leaves that
before
before
the
the wild
hurricane
hurricane fly,
fly,
when
when
they
they
came
with
to
an
me.
obstacle.
when they meet with an obstacle, mount to the sky. So up to the housetop the coursers they flew, with a sleigh full of toys and St. Nicholas too.
Eden. Eden.
Eden. Yeah, there you go.
Now, Kitty.
And then in the twinkling I heard on the roof the prancing and pawing of each little hoof.
As I drew to my bed and I
Was turning around down the chimney,
St.
Nicholas came and bound. Wait, Eden, what are we doing?
I'm sorry.
We're trying to read here.
She claims to be an adult and then she acts like
No, I am an adult. He was dressed,
He was dressed all in fur from his head to his foot, and his clothes were all tarnished with ashes and soot.
a bundle of toys he had flung on his back, and he looked like a peddler just opening his sack.
His
Eyes, how they twinkled, his dimples, how merry. His cheeks were like roses, his nose like a cherry.
His
Droll
droll
little mouth was drawn up like a bow.
up like a bow. Up like a bow.
And the beard.
And the beard on his
And
chin
the
was
beard
a
on his chin was as white as snow.
You guys can't read it.
Well, Kristen's kind of throwing me off. You know, it's like
Skipping pages.
I know.
the stump of a pipe he held
Pipe
In his teeth,
and
and
the
the
smoke
smoke
it
it encircled his head like a wreath.
He had a broad face and a round little belly that shook when he laughed like a bowl full of jelly. He was chubby and plump, a right jolly old elf, and I laughed when I saw him in spite of myself. Okay. A
A wink of his eye and a twist of his head soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread.
He spoke
Spoke not a word, but went straight to his work.
And Bill.
Wait.
Come on, Graham. Come on, Graham.
And
Filled all the stockings and
they
turned with a jerk.
and laid his finger aside of his nose,
And giving a nod up the chimney he rose. He sprang to his sleigh, to his team gave a whistle.
Mom, I go
And
back.
away they all flew like the down of a thistle. But I heard him exclaim where he drove out of sight, Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night. Yeah.
Christmas charade.
Dancing. Dancing.
Okay, this is.
Ice skating. Santa Claus.
Ice skater, of course.
Ice skater.
I'm ice skating with something.
Figure
But
skating.
I'm doing something.
You're
You're in
figure
the Winter
skating.
Olympics.
Hockey skating.
No.
Running on ice.
Speed skating.
Cross country.
Snowboarding.
Skating.
What's that guy hiding?
Snoopy
What was his thing?
skating.
Smiling.
Santa skating on the ice.
Okay.
Bobsled skating.
But you are skiing, right? Tyler, you are skiing.
Skating.
No, skating.
Ice skating.
Ice skating.
Ice skating.
Figure
Ice
skating.
Ice skating. Roller skating. It's ice skating.
You're Snoopy from
It's
the
ice skating,
Peanuts.
but I'm doing something.
Figure skating.
Oh, the Peanuts, Snoopy, of course.
Oh, a
She's doing
figure eight.
something while ice
I already
skating.
guessed that.
A figure eight.
Yeah, pay
Figure
attention.
eight.
Well, hey, I'm going by
Writing
what
Merry
his
Christmas
eye-
on the ice
my
with
thing
your
is I
skates.
can yell everybody
You're
else's
in the Olympics.
guesses to make me
No.
hear
But
twice.
that's a good hint.
Performing.
Performing.
Give us a hint.
Here.
Kevin, does this
Here,
remind you of
all
Pictionary?
right.
Yeah,
All
Pictionary.
right. The first.
guys
You're
like
making
it.
figure
Uh,
eights.
no, I'm writing a word on the ice.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas. Yes.
All right.
Oh
Carson.
man,
All right,
whoa,
Carson.
it was only obvious.
Go
Come
over on the
on.
carpet.
So the official answer was ice skating while writing my name Tyler in the ice.
No.
Merry Christmas.
No, Merry Christmas.
Oh, Merry
Carson,
Christmas.
close that door.
Very
please.
good, Tyler.
Hard to guess.
Yeah,
All right.
The last part. was
Carson's
really
turn. Carson's turn. Do the one that Uncle Jackson likes. You know which one that is?
good. I know that one. I'll do it.
Mike, okay, let Uncle Mike do it. He can do it from right there if he wants
Yes.
to. All right. Okay, Christmas tree. That's it. All right.
I've been around long enough to
That's for
remember
you,
that one.
Jackson.
Okay.
Sorry.
All right, Carson's
Tyler.
turn.
Come on, Grover, you can think of something.
Carson.
You have to think fast.
Oh, I got one.
All right,
Carson, we got Carson up on the table.
Come on, Carsey. There he goes.
Woo.
The old runner.
Pokemon.
Rudolph.
A football player.
Hole in the China Club.
Football player.
A bobsledder.
A wrestler.
No.
Is it to do with Christmas? Oh.
Oh, it's gotta be.
It's gotta be Christmas, dude.
Well,
Christmas
try to
charade.
think of one.
I
for
got one.
Christmas.
I got one while he's.
All right.
So
turn
what were
around
you
now.
doing?
Whoops.
Give us the
Okay.
answer of that one.
Do you even know the answer?
Yeah.
What is it? Tell us, because I'm going to stop filming.
What was it?
I just forgot.
Oh.
Okay, here goes Kristen.
Okay.
Just
I got mine. I got mine.
Eden and Mike looking for Santa Claus.
Santa comes when there's three. Look at the moon. See the moon? Look how bright the moon is. See the moon?
The new icicle lights in front of our house. Total cool winter solstice moon we've been having.
Let's go. Let's go open up
Hey, you guys stand in.
Open a present.
Did you see Santa?
No.
No, we're looking for him. I told him he might have to come when he's sleeping.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go open up our Christmas Eve present and go night-night.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
Oh, I'm gonna tickle you. I might tickle you very
Hayden's
bad.
Christmas Eve present. Tyler, look around this way to Mommy.
What is it, Ty?
Space pajamas.
All
All
right.
right.
To sleep in for Christmas.
Space pajamas for
I
Christmas.
can wear these tonight.
Huh?
Yeah.
It's Christmas jammies.
Okay, Hayden, your turn.
I can't.
Yeah.
Let Daddy help you.
Break
Yeah, Dad, will help me.
Maybe Tyler can
Oh,
help
my
you.
favorite. Oh, my favorite planet, Saturn.
Whoops. There you go.
Thanks, Dad. I love orange.
Tyler. See how these fit on you. What do you have getting Hayden?
I don't know.
You don't know?
It's something from Gymboree.
How do you know?
I can see the sign.
Oh, you can. Why, because you can read now?
No, I
Yeah.
can. I just can
Need some help, Hades?
Yeah.
Somebody's wrapped up pretty good, huh? Here you go.
I got some shark jammies.
You got some shark jammies.
Tyler.
You got some sharky jammies?
Ooh, sharky bite. Sharky bite. Sharky bite.
No. Only one tonight.
Okay.
Santa comes tomorrow.
Say goodnight.
Say goodnight.
Good night.
Merry Christmas.
There's Tyler.
Has Santa been here?
Nobody's awake. Santa's here.
Santa's been here.
Hayden.
Santa's been here. Whoa.
Woohoo! There he goes.
Santa's been here.
Woo.
That's what I wanted.
What did you get, Pooh Bear?
A back.
Here,
But
let's
he
bring
said, but
Here
he,
you go. Why don't you here, sit down on the floor and I'll bring it down to you.
but
There
he,
you go.
but he stuck it in there.
You did? I see something under the tree too. I think you want.
That's awesome.
What did you get?
What'd you get?
What did you get, Pooh?
Baseball bat, some soap, and some Legos, Pokemon there.
A Pokemon.
Cool.
And a skateboard.
No,
that's not. I don't
skater.
think that's
That's
yours.
Tyler's.
I think it's Tyler's.
What else is
What did
there
you,
though?
What did you get? Look over there. No. Hayden,
I need this one, I want it.
come here, Hayden.
You can't change your present. Look at
Hayden,
Santa.
come here. No, stand up. What's that right there you've been asking for?
A soccer ball!
Is that a soccer ball?
Is that a soccer ball?
Yes.
Here, hold it up for Mommy so I can take a picture of it. All right. Where's Sleepyhead at?
Tyler! You lazy bones?
Hey, there he is. It's Christmas.
Christmas Eve, I forgot about it. It's Christmas morning. Ah, jeez.
Ooh. Ty! Merry Christmas!
Ooh, a skateboard for me.
Yeah?
I'm checking out my stocking. First thing I check out is my stocking. I can't pump it down. A space book for me. Ooh, a little thing for me. Crimson tub. Me too. I got one too. Wallet, Mickey Mouse.
Hey, you can put your 25 bucks in there.
2 Pokemon card packs.
Woo!
Santa knows what you like. Look at his wallet. What cool. You put your money in it.
Yay!
Yay! Got his ball out.
Ball card. I got my ball out, Daddy.
Aggravators.
Hank gets this soccer ball that I really do want.
Excellent.
And it. After you open this pack. Dad, remember? Dad, remember? You know how there was like all the plastic around this pack? I got a Charizard with this.
Yeah, nobody's here.
This is for you.
Okay,
Now there's no
yes,
name
from
on
Jackson,
this.
Alwyn,
You guys can get
McLean,
Squirtle
and
because
Jackson
that's the
Gray.
little Pokemon.
Hi, McLean. Hi, McLean.
All righty, great.
Oh, Aaron.
Thank you.
This is the old horseshoe. Thank you very much.
Oh, that's what we
thank you.
played in Florida. We had so
Yeah.
much fun.
That was so fun for the team.
Oh, yeah, that's
Oh,
great.
we had
Great.
Oh my God.
There it is.
All right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Oh, yeah, we
Hi,
enjoy
Jackson
these.
Gray.
Thank you.
You better say hi to Jackson Gray.
Huh?
You better say hi to McLean.
Hello, McLean and Jackson Gray.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Hayden, what did you open?
Oh, hey.
Oh, Hayden, you're not waiting. Carsey, Tyler, you say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas!
Hayden.
Game Boy Christmas!
Eden.
Eden.
Hayden.
Diane!
Oh, hi, Merry Christmas.
Game Boy Christmas!
Oh, excellent.
Wait, Hayden's still
Going to
open.
Skyhooks? Yeah,
Okay,
it's
A
Hayden's
Game Boy
opening.
for the birthday!
Where did you get it from? Gee, I don't know.
Hayden, that's
Well
his
stacked.
What's up, Aaron?
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Jackson and Alene, and all the kids.
This is Jersey Row here.
That's right.
Yes.
Yep. The best one right here.
Okay. Goofy with the Kristen.
Merry Christmas.
Okay,
Tyler
Kevin.
Merry
You like those? Do you have,
Should put on your
do you have
nose, Rudolph.
earphones? Diane, did you say Hayden has earphones for those?
Yeah! Thank you!
Baby Jackson.
Thank you. Yeah, Ty-Ty.
Cute. All right. Here's everybody's opening gifts.
I gave it to him.
Haven't opened yours yet.
Oh, okay. Here, Kristen, open it while I got the camera.
We're working on it.
I love that.
Look at that. It's good. All right. I'll call her later, Mom.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. I'll definitely use this.
Oh, you can make
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Those are the ones I used to make. Those are cool. Those are fun.
Totally.
Thank you very much.
All right. Cool.
That'd
Yeah.
be a fun thing to
Jack
work
and
on.
Ellie.
Oh, what is it?
I think, look at the stone in the
Those are
Oh,
like what the pros play with.
Yeah, and my gloves really do stick to it.
Stick on them.
Tyler, what do you say to Grammy?
You got less than
Thank you. You're welcome.
Can I open this?
Okay, Gary and Aaron are going to open.
Not yet.
Gary already
Okay.
opened one of Jack's.
This I love, absolutely love the air option pass thing. Love it.
Tell that story again about your coach.
Oh, my coach has these all over his room, so I've been kind of getting the hint that I should be checking these out and learning some different plays. It's perfect, just what I wanted with the plays in there.
Ooh, nice.
Football coaching strategies.
All right.
Oh, that is so cool.
You can't read too many of those.
Who is
Oh
it?
my God.
There's still a present
This
for
is
me.
what I need. This is what I don't understand on when to
I like
use
the guy that
plays. You know, you have to know when to use a certain kind of play and how to set up plays.
Yeah, you stuff. Yeah, because it's
That's
all
what
the way
this will
around.
tell you.
Diane!
Ooh, and it has reads in there, Kevin. Yeah.
Mom and Dad. Thank you, Mommy!
Indicators for quarterbacks.
Hey, baby, you got new gloves?
Thank you! Another one his.
Coverages you can see. This is totally sweet. I love this.
Windbreak is very good.
Isn't it nice? I really like it.
Kevin, this is
It'll
for
be
Gary,
a nice
right?
thing for next year.
Yeah.
Man,
Thank you.
Ooh, how
I'll try
nice.
not to peek.
Beautiful.
Oh, isn't that
Oh, yeah, I love that.
Mom, look.
Thank you
Mom,
very
look,
much,
sheep
guys.
in a
Thank you,
sheep
guys.
in a jeep in little size.
Oh, I love that.
Diane.
Thank you, guys.
Should I have a mind
Tyler.
should I have a mind while you're
Yes,
filming?
yeah, let me
Oh,
get
thank
Kevin.
you,
Very-
Donnie.
Okay.
Diane, I want to open mine from Justin Ellie.
Okay, here. Okay, Kevin, we'll do you next.
Right.
Where did you guys get the tool belt?
Oh, that's nice and tall.
It's Tim's two-man series.
Oh,
Really? It's hysterical.
Ooh, Bath and Body Works.
He has a tool.
Oh,
He's
man.
Did you get one?
I love Bath and Body Works. Thank you, guys.
Smart.
What did you get?
Yeah, he
Okay.
is.
Mom, it's the lotion.
Okay, Diane, we're gonna open some Jackson and
Okay.
Okay.
Here's
All
Dar
right,
and
I'm
her
gonna
football
open it.
booster.
I can't wait to see what it is.
Yeah,
I love the wrap. I think that is
Yeah, you
darling.
came in first. I got a real hammer.
Precious.
Oh, yeah.
That's sweet.
Hate it.
Hayden.
Yeah,
I have
kinda
no
like
idea
the
what
rock
it
one.
is.
That one's cool.
I love that coat on you.
Thank
That
you.
coat is just so cool.
Thank you. It fits me, right?
Yeah, it looks
Football
like it
mom?
belongs.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially with Peyton Manning over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got Carson
I still
coming
don't
up,
know what it
Tyler.
is.
That is Kevin.
Still working.
So cool.
Yeah, that is so cool. Ooh, the champion's nice.
Oh, Kevin, that looks cute.
That's what I can't believe is they put those.
Oh,
I
pretty.
mean, I thought they'd be
Oh, look at that. Thank you.
Oh,
cool.
Hey, Dad, where's my copper back?
Oh, that is so neat.
That's totally
Photo
cool.
album. Thank you.
Oh, how cute.
See, look at you open it.
Everywhere.
Oh, that's awesome. I love
But
that.
you can leave it up as a. Oh, that is neat. Thank you so much. Isn't that neat? So you can turn it and put different pictures.
Oh, that's
Oh,
nice.
isn't that neat?
I love that. That's great.
Thank you. I love frames and I have a million pictures. So I will build them up.
All right. Here, Kevy's going to open his from Jack Legs.
Ice cold feet.
Ice cold feet.
Hayden's getting to that football.
Oh, and Jack, before I open this, I want to say I'm sorry for wearing the Peyton Manning jersey since he's from Tennessee and all, but, you know, I like him.
A little shot on that. Florida.
Can we take a trip to the...
Are you still opening, Kevin?
Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, that's nice.
That's a
Nice
cool
one.
shirt.
Who is it?
Florida Gators.
Florida Gator shirt. All right.
Oh, man, thank you, guys. I love it.
And that's my
Kevin's the
not
only
the
one who
hurricane.
still supports the old Gators.
Yeah, no.
Hayden already opened his.
Except Jackson and Aline.
Yeah, oh no, I mean on the West Coast.
Yeah.
The West Coast support.
Hey, Dad, you know what?
All right. Excellent.
That is cute.
Because you know what?
Our sheriff from here.
You got that thing out of
I found it.
Jack,
Merry Christmas. Oh, where did Kelly go? I was going to get Kelly on there and she...
Go step right out the back door and find her.
Just got finished playing basketball.
watch yourself going
Ready
down.
to finish? No, he quit. He quit. I always win.
Victorious Raider.
The whole family, and so I went.
You see what I
He
just-
quit. Okay, he quit right when I was about to beat him. He quit.
Kevy over there. Okay, you got your Florida shirt on for Jackson.
Show off.
Plugged in.
Kevin, really? Yes.
All
Florida
right.
Gators.
All right.
Did you guys get him a watch too?
Got this nifty little carrying case. Getting her chair to go.
President Day is those chairs.
Did you get a chance to sit in one? They're very comfortable. And if you go to any kind of meetings,
Kevy's got the PlayStation. He's setting up. He's ready. He's moving into the TV. Christmas. Don't you hit the tree. Stop it right now. That's not nice. Tyler, that's not nice. Show Uncle Jackson and Aline your shirt. You got a space shirt? All right, that matches your shirt. You got a hammer? Tyler, don't be silly. Carson, off the wall. Here's Carson. Playing. In his Raiders jersey. Everybody got jerseys.
Hey, Tyler, make a minute this one. Diane! Raiders rule! Raiders rule! Steelers rule!
Oh, there's Tyler, the Steelers fan.
Tyler's team sucks. Tyler's team sucks.
What about the
Sucks,
Jacksonville
man.
Jaguars? That's Uncle Jackson's team.
Jaguars suck! Jaguars stuck in the whole universe. Jaguars are tight.
There's Hayden over there playing.
Jaguars tight. Jaguars tight.
Okay, you guys are all playing. Don's backyard. There goes Hayden. He's got the hammer, hasn't put it down all day.
You are. She is.
I'm making my brother a videotape. I promised I would.
Go out and say goodbye to everybody.
Let me see, get the front of Don's house. There's Eden act like a goof in the closet. Nobody's appreciating the video. Okay. I'll get you the front of Don's house. There's Dad walking Kelly to the car. There's Don's Snoopy flag. Oh, beautiful sunny day here. Here's Eden sneaking out.
See you later. Gotta go.
Goodbye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Okay. Fade to dark. Home playing with some of the Christmas presents. Here Hayden has. Hayden, come here, let Mommy film your new helmet with the tools on it. Hayden got a tool helmet. This has tools on it. There's Ty and his new scooter thing. Okay, Hayden, that's high enough?
Oh, jeez, fudge.
There's the old house.
New house, new house. We're living it forever. We're living it forever.
Hayden, that's high enough. Ooh, there goes Evil Knievel. I don't think that's very good for grass.
How you like your new helmet?
Mike in his UCLA jersey. Santa brought him.
Go down this big hill.
Yeah,
They got a lot of power.
a lot of power.
Now I'm going back after quarantine.
That's right.
Quarantine man. Yeah, quarantine.
Okay, Hayden, turn around. I'm going to film you. Come down. Mr. Treadwell's old 1930 car.
Fool, come down, fool. Fine, I'm coming up.
They're very nice neighbors. We like them very much. Tyler.
Okay, see, I'm right on my new place, boy, and
Crash.
I'm trying to jump off.
Say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Mama. Okay, table.
Love you.
I love you.
How old are you?
3.
Good for you. You sure are. That nice tool helmet.
Bye.
Goodbye. Okay, Tyler, what do you say?
Merry Christmas, dude.
That's not very nice. Now say it nicely.
Merry Christmas.
And how old are you?
7 years old.
What did you get to do that was so special because you're 7?
Hold a candle.
At church, did you get to hold your own candle this time for Silent Night?
Yes.
That was special this Christmas, wasn't it?
I hold a candle too.
You got to help Daddy hold a candle, didn't you?
No, I hold it by myself with some fire.
Oh. Okay.
Watch out, cuz. Ride a shooter.
No, you're right in the big wheel.
Well, I'm done.
I know, it will be nice. I don't want you to crash on the scooter. Hey, Sammy, did you miss us today? Good girl.
I like crash. Yeah.
There's Daddy playing football in the street.
Nice catch, Boo.
Good throw. Woohoo! Good catch. Oh. We got the new icicle lights
Watch out,
for
Hayden.
our house this year.
Watch out.
Very
Look,
popular.
something right here, Dad.
No way.
Did. Ow.
Set.
Woo! Good pass. still running up the mountain every day, Mike?
Every day. Where are you, Jack? 61235, Jack.
Woo! There they go. Here comes Tyler. He's learning the scooter. I hadn't got it yet. Samantha's not sure what's going on. Hey, Sammy.
Here, Dad.
My. Woo!
It's hard to get used to it because that's such a big ball.
It is. Nice catch, Tom.
All right.
Oh, come on. You're supposed to be a quarterback. What kind of throws are those?
Dad, I see down said, I hand it off to you, then you throw it to me. And I run for a touchdown. Whoa.
Too quick for you, Tyler?
Down, sit, hi.
Hayden wanting to try the scooter.
Oh, he catches it.
Running for the touchdown.
Hey, let's try to ride that thing. Oh yeah, I took a long turn on it. Here, Dad, this time I pitch it to you, then you throw it to me, then you run, I throw it to you, you throw it to me.
You're doing too much. No.
We just do back and forth.
No.
Okay, I pitch it to you.
You're a quarterback. Here, I'll.
Okay. Yeah, sit, height. Here.
I'm super student this month.
I'm super student this month. I got to go to the pizza parlor, a movie, Toy Story 2.
Right. What was your favorite part of Toy Story 2?
Every part.
Patrice,
Have you rides?
get it.
And here's Dawn. She has a date with one of Kevin's football coaches.
Gary's using the Vanagon, so he has his
She has on her new sweater too. That looks nice.
Thank you.
Here.
Hi, Jackson.
pager calls to tell me that the Steelers suck sometimes.
Say hi, McLean.
Hi, McLean. Hi, McLean.
You goofball.
I'm Nick McLean.
Say hi, baby Jackson.
Hi, baby Jackson.
Hi, baby Jackson. Hi, baby Jackson.
Before we get started, how's everybody doing out there? You enjoying those candles courtesy of CHP? Okay. We've got Bob Lantern here tonight, and he's going to try to win himself that Harley Davidson red out front. We've also got Hannah. We call her Flying Hannah. How long have you been flying?
About 9 years.
And she does it well. Okay, so how you doing, Mom? I'm doing good. And where are you from? Kind of like that. Okay, so if you can hit the land, 3-3-3, half-court shot. You'll win the Harley. Are you ready? Tennis Donovan Jones. Ladies, you want to bring Donovan out? And with Donovan here, we have Eden. How you doing, Eden?
Good, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, you done.
So you're the girls on up here. And how long have you been throwing the butt up here?
About 2 years.
Okay, you do well. We've also got Donovan, by the way. Okay, Donovan's going to go for the big money. If he can do the series of shots, he's going to go home with $10,000. What do you think about that, Donovan? You ready? Check. Hand off. There it is. You ready? Let's hear it for Donovan, everybody. Okay, Donovan, on your mark, get set, go. Should we give Donovan a cheer from Seven Tires?